I want to tell you about a single day that basically reshaped our world. A day when the future of tech, the one we're always talking about, didn't just knock on the door. It kicked it clean off its hinges. This is a story about rebellion, replacement, and just breathtaking ambition. Mark the date in your mind, April 6th, 2026. It seems like just another Monday, but it was anything but. Three massive events all happened at pretty much the same time, and each one was like a tremor signaling a huge shift in how we think about technology. And it really makes you wonder, right? What happens when the future we've all been guessing about, the good, the bad, and the kind of scary parts, doesn't trickle in, but just shows up all at once in one 24-hour period? Okay, so the first battle of the day, it wasn't fought in some stuffy boardroom. Nope. It was fought in the creative trenches of the video game industry. And this was a war for the very soul of digital art. It all kicked off with this call to arms. David Szymanski, who's the CEO of his awesome indie studio, New Blood Interactive, he did not mince words. This was a flat-out declaration of war against one of the biggest companies in tech, NVIDIA. So what on earth could make a developer this mad? A piece of software. Specifically, NVIDIA's brand new graphics tech called DLSS 5. Now, if you're not a huge gamer, DLSS is this AI tech that helps games run better. But this new version was something completely different. You see, the older versions of DLSS were tools. They were like a helping hand to make games run smoother. But DLSS 5, it used generative AI to actively change the game's art. We're talking altering character faces, textures, lighting, everything. Developers saw it as this AI slop filter that was just smearing over their handcrafted work. It was like NVIDIA was putting its own AI between the artist and you, the player. So, as artists are fighting to protect their work from AI, a very different and much colder reality was playing out. That abstract idea of AI taking jobs, well, it suddenly became very, very real.
30,000. Just let that number sink in. That's how many employees at the software giant Oracle woke up one morning to find out they were fired. That is a massive number, nearly a fifth of their entire company just gone.
And how they did it was just as shocking as the number itself. No big company meeting, no heads up, nothing. Just a cold, automated email that went out at 6 a.m. Talk about a brutally efficient and deeply impersonal way to do things. Look, we've all seen big tech layoffs before, right? Companies like Meta and Amazon, they talk about a year of efficiency or cost reduction. But Oracle, they were different. They said it right out loud. The reason was to free up billions of dollars for AI investment. This wasn't just a cutback, it was a strategy. They were replacing people. And maybe the cruelest part of all this, the company had actually told everyone this was their plan. The signs were there. They were just buried where nobody would ever think to look. Yep. Tucked away deep inside Oracle's quarterly financial report was this one little sentence, basically admitting their whole strategy was to use AI to build software with fewer people. The whole era of AI as a friendly co-pilot was over. The era of AI as a replacement had just begun. So while one tech giant is laying off its human workers to pay for its AI future, another guy was making the single biggest bet on AI the world had ever seen, a gamble designed to control the entire system. Elon Musk announced a new project with a price tag that's just hard to wrap your head around. $25 billion, all to build a massive new factory in Austin, Texas, called TeraFab. But honestly, the money is only half the story. The goal was somehow even crazier, to produce 1 terawatt of computing power every single year. That number is so huge, it's kind of meaningless without some context. So let's get that context. The entire US power grid, every single power plant in the country, all of them combined, generates about half a terawatt of electricity a year. Musk's plan was to build one factory that could produce double that amount, not in electricity, but in raw computing power. The scale is just mind-blowing. And what's all this power for? To own everything. Total vertical integration. TeraFab would build the custom chips to power every piece of Musk's empire, from self-driving Teslas and Optimus robots down here on the ground to a planned network of data centers up in space. He wasn't just trying to win the AI race, he was trying to build, own, and operate the entire racetrack himself. But while all these wars over AI, creative, corporate, industrial, were raging down here on Earth, something else was happening. Something that offered a totally different and much quieter perspective. Because at the exact same time all this chaos was unfolding, 4 humans were traveling farther from home than anyone had in over 50 years. They were on their way to the moon. I mean, just imagine that contrast for a second. As the world below is fighting over generative AI and mass layoffs, the crew of Artemis 2 sends back this message. Just a simple, profound reminder of the bigger picture and of what else humanity can do. So when you zoom out and look at everything that happened on April 6, 2026, you start to see it. A single, powerful picture emerges. This wasn't just a bunch of random stuff happening. It was a convergence. This was the day AI stopped being this theoretical thing we talk about and became a real, tangible force. It sparked a rebellion among creators. It was used to justify replacing tens of thousands of workers, and it fueled an ambition on a scale we've never seen before. All of this really forces us to face the big question of our time, doesn't it? Is this powerful new technology going to be a tool that makes us better, or is it going to become a replacement for us? That one day gave us some pretty strong evidence for both arguments. And that leaves us with one last, kind of unavoidable thought. As we speed into this new world being defined by AI, the biggest question of all is, who gets to write the rules? Who gets to enjoy the rewards? And who gets left behind?